So let me think. Last time you guys had a decision of which city guys wanted to go to.
Renderforest.com.
There were five
We
options.
decided on Paris.
Yeah, you guys decided on Paris, which is the more um, interacting with everyone else, with all the people who live in the city route, as you will be working more normal jobs besides your superhero activities. Um, yeah, you're closer to some of the bigger heroes since you have Midas. There's this new university of superheroes starting up here. Um, yeah, like all the others who didn't have had that access. So there will be more like Gaia Guardians access or other heroes access probably around this city as well. You guys moved to your new like living space, which is basically their sort of an apartment building. Well, you guys get two-story apartments, houses, and like this square with like this area in the middle. Still have to draw this out for you guys. We saw Kenneth getting his stuff, putting in the giant ant living space. What do we call it? It's not an aquarium. It's
Normally I would just call it like sort of like an ant farm
yeah,
or like a
ant farm.
giant like a tank or something.
Yeah, you've been tracking the news. I was thinking if there was something. Yeah, not much of interesting on the news. There's still like stuff going on. There
Oh
were
yeah, I
rumors
got
of Captain
I
Sytem
got
being
like yeah, I got called out on fucking TV by that asshole
for
who
the 50th
always
time.
talks shit
Yeah.
about me. And I ended up smashing one of the like chairs, I think, or something, like one of the tables, I think it was maybe that I had.
Yeah, but at this point, can you blame him? Because you actually did kill a guy. Like
It was. It was
Nobody
by
knows about that.
accident.
nobody knows. That's correct.
It was
Nobody.
by accident.
Well,
Jeez.
nobody knows that you know of.
Sure enough.
Yeah. So
Look, he held the gun against himself. He asked for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nessa, her butler showed up after trying to contact her parents or actually her family. She wasn't able to since her family is very important. They have business trips. It was said they were like in a silent retreat trying to get to them. They they actually sent their butler ahead. Um, so the butler helped you unpack, making sure it's you, like checking on you, like because since you kind of mutated, so he basically let you know your parents are coming. There has been some stuff after, because basically they thought you were dead. They had a funeral and all, because that was the official story. You don't know who's after the official story yet, but that was the story. Like she died while diving.
Already.
What else? Oh yeah, Jip's character, Pyre. Pyre seemed to have a neighbor, a boy 1 or 2 years younger than her with the name of Fernino, which you can call Fern or Nino. Yeah, and
Fernando.
there was something
Yep.
strange. There were like voices on like his television and his radio. He heard like weird conversations on there, and you kind of hear them too. He was not allowed to go outside because his powers were too powerful. When he's in contact with sunlight, basically his powers were turning things to ash. Um, yeah, you didn't trust it, so you were going to Josh, to contact Miss Bouchard.
Yes.
Normally Josh doesn't also live here. He lives like slightly further away. He's probably helping unpacking someone. So in that case, yeah, I think he's helping Jingles. Like they probably like show Jingles like, do you want to buy this stuff, like this furniture? They probably have like some like cat furniture or stuff like that. Yeah, he can't really put it in himself. So yeah, you see him carrying some boxes. He's like totally covered in sweat, like sweat on his armpits. He taking off his cap that he normally wear. Like he always wears like some kind of hat or cap. And he sees you coming. Like we said, the sun just went down. You have some beautiful lights on this building. We see some drones like flying over. You can. It's not the light is specially built so there's no light pollution, so you can actually see the stars, even though there are some lights that you can even see the stars like above. He's just like picking up a crate when he sees you. He's like, Pyre, Pyre, going out for some dinner or something? Could you get me some food as well?
I don't even know what you liked.
Where are you going? I can probably,
I wanted to ask you, I have a neighbor, and he's kind of locked in his room.
He like looks. Wait. He's like, I don't know. I should check with Miss Bashar. I thought most of these were empty, but I actually never asked if somebody. Oh, how do you mean locked up?
As in, everything on his side's completely locked up with some weird monovision TV and radio that barely work.
What? He can't leave the house? Is he? He's trying to understand. What's keeping him from? Is he chained up?
No, he... Like, his room's chained up, but he also doesn't want to leave.
Well, like, Josh gets a bit confused. Like, sorry, Pyre, but
I'm just as confused as he is.
He can't leave, or he doesn't want to leave.
Both.
Like, how did you see him?
I unlocked the door from my side.
And he could get into your house?
Yes.
So he's freed now?
Technically, yes.
He's like, let me check in with Miss Bouchard.
I like how you're asking Josh about this. The fucking person that we know for a fact knows absolutely fuck all about this.
Who else is she gonna ask? She doesn't know Miss Bouchard's number or anything.
You should know this shit in like a week, because he takes care of most of this stuff, like, inside of the houses.
Yeah, but he's still unpacking. So
yeah, and the thing is, like, taking this route you currently took more responsibility on the government of the French, of the Paris side, than on Super Parole, because it's like a shared. Because it's not like, oh, you're in this fucking safe base. No, you're just in some houses they pointed, as far as you guys know.
2 seconds. Apparently, I'm being called. 1 moment. Sorry.
Sorry, what did you say?
question again. Why did we choose this again? Instead of Russia, where we get a fucking fortified base, or the underwater Atlantis, where we get a fucking entire amusement park that's sealed off from the outside and can't be attacked as easily. Fucking Vienna, where we have literal fucking like an army of friends to help us, most likely. Shit, I don't even remember the other place.
It was London, but
Britain.
it was
Britain, where
racist.
apparently.
But you would have got cool gadgets.
Britain, I imagine Britain would have fucking been at least like get the fucking royal guard on our side or something.
Again, like there were racists there, but they're trying like part of them are racist. Like the other, like the biggest part, are like super overcompensating towards Hero because they don't want them to leave because of the racists. So yeah, I really like most people would be like very pleasant to have you guys. Yeah, you chose Paris.
Just fucking Paris out of all of them. Great. I mean, we can't change it now because fuck.
Yeah.
That's the problem. We should have chosen everything. I still don't know why we chose fucking Paris.
So yeah, Josh puts Miss Shaw on the on the mic on his phone, like you can hear her. She's like, yes, Miss Bishop, with Miss Bishop, with Noel, how can I help you? Who's this? And she's like, yeah, it's Josh. She's like, Mr. Keegan. She goes like, yeah, Pyre came with me with a weird story. Apparently there's a boy living here next to her, who was locked up, but she freed her, but he doesn't want to leave. Is that correct, Pyre?
Yes, I guess that's very odd. I don't understand.
Well, she's like, neither do I, Pyre. Can you start at the beginning? Like, we can say that you just tell.
Re-explain the situation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, interesting. It doesn't seem like that he's locked up, that he's able to leave, but again, he shouldn't. I understand that he's not allowed to leave when the sun is out, that he's not allowed, but he is allowed to leave at night, but he doesn't want to leave. I truly understand. I will look into this, Pyre. If you want, we can move you so that you don't longer live next to him. I should check with the French government of Paris to see why they put them there. If something else, maybe I should check it out myself. If you want, we can move you, but I don't have other jurisdiction currently. But I will look if they're actually locking up an innocent child. I will of course make sure that he gets released or get a better living situation than he currently has. And Josh probably helped like you moving in a bit as well. And it's like, please don't say I have to move you again. Can't you just stay? Like he would probably like living next to you, not being alone. Do you mind, Pyre?
I think I'll be fine with it. It's just I just don't understand why he's locked in the room to begin with.
Well, maybe if you actually spoke to him about it.
Like Miss Bishal like puts on her. Like, you stated that his powers are, dangerous when in direct sunlight. I guess that's why. I don't know why they put him here though. There could be different like better places maybe, but maybe he has like a life close by, a family. I'm not aware, but I will try to find out.
Would you please, and thank you.
Of course, Pyre. I will do that for you. No problem. If there's anything else I can help you with while moving in, please let Mr. Keegan know. We'll see what we can do.
I give a nod. Okay, I will.
And yeah, Josh hangs up, and he's like, "Well, okay, so I think that's settled. About that food, though, should we just order or?"
How far away are we even to the nearest town?
Well, you're living not secluded. There are other buildings around. So there's probably like a restaurant around the corner or anything like that. Yeah. Like ordering food like in the future, yeah, you can like order probably from the other like now would be like a 3-hour drive. They can probably deliver like in 30 minutes or less.
All right, so she's gonna sign. Just tell me which one and where to go, and I'll go there and grab everyone food. Then
we can order if you don't mind. Like if you.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, he puts like his Google Maps look up like local.
Let's be fair. He's like, just go get me food. Just
No,
Go.
he checks. He like puts something in like the group chat so that
No,
even,
but
like
he's internally like, go get me food, please. Dying.
Again,
3 weeks.
Jib, I think
Not really.
you put on these kind of things, man. That's not how he's ever acted. Everyone gives fucking Josh shit, but at the same time, he's literally one of the nicest people that fucking is in the group.
He is.
So yeah, he puts like in the group like you guys probably already had a group chat that's like never used. but for W.I.P, maybe W.I.P just put stuff in there. Yeah,
Whip probably just fills it up with random shit. Like, just thought I should let you know, I just ordered 10,000 iguanas. And then 5 minutes later, yeah, I had to cancel the thing for the iguanas. Turns out Josh's card declined.
Yeah, Josh probably had to make like an algorithm to get all the trash from W.I.P out, which is actually necessary to read. Yeah, so there's a group text and you guys get some food. It's up to you if you guys eat together or not. Does Nessa react to the group text of retrieving food?
She's down to grab something to eat.
Do you let the people know that you currently have a guest in your apartment?
He stayed? I wasn't sure he was actually staying. I thought...
It's like, you know, he's still. You guys are still unpacking as well. Like, you know, he
would write in their group chat, "Happy Build a Scarecrow Day," with an emote of a scarecrow.
You don't.
Kenneth would reply, "Stop, please."
You don't even know the date, Jim. Is it? Like W.I.P knows, yes, but are you now just straight guessing what the date in game is, or are you taking currently
Yes.
in real time? Because it's the 29th of October. It's almost Halloween, but yeah.
Fun fact: it is
Well,
actually Build a Scarecrow
Actually, it's still
Day
the
today.
28th because the day hasn't passed.
Yeah.
Either
But
way,
today is-
Jib, that's not what today is in the game.
All right. National Frankenstein Day. That's today.
Jibs, just fucking stop.
All right, I'll stop.
So yeah, Nessa, do you let in group chat know that you have a visitor or a guest?
Sure.
So yeah.
I honestly, I thought that was all finished up by the time we wrapped up the previous session.
Yeah, like you guys are still like unpacking, because it takes a while, and he will leave after unpacking. It's not like he's staying the night, but it's you know, putting everything in and he's helping with that. So yeah, everybody also gets in the chat like, yeah, I will eat with, but I have a +1 or something like that. Sure. So, yeah, Pyre, when you get back to your apartment, the doors in between...
Oh, I thought we were going to be kicked out. I thought we were going to do the scene with the store and the lady was going to be freaked out. Like, oh, one of the supers are here, you know?
When you get the food?
Yeah. I thought that was going to happen, honestly.
No. You just...
So we don't get any trouble?
You just get... Like,
Why would you
do
get
you
in
want to
trouble for
make
going to
any
get
trouble? Like,
No.
how are you getting...
I-
Like, you're 40
You're
years
just
old
going to
getting
go get food, bro. It's not like a fucking arduous journey.
I thought considering the stuff on the news, people would be
Yeah, like,
you know,
you're not
cautious
that
of us.
much... And,
No,
like, you,
they don't hate you. They hate me. There's a fucking difference,
like
man.
you
Oh,
were on
okay.
TV, like, during the tournament, but after that you haven't been on that TV that much. If they showed you, were probably more in costume, like, before it burned off. Because that's the most shots they have of you. Yeah, they're... And yeah. That's basically, yeah. So there's no, like, oh, you're a superhero. Because you're wearing normal-ish kind of clothes, correct? It's...
Just walks around with a big, like, hi, my name is such and such. I create fires. Please be nice to me. Just a giant sign on your chest.
Hi, my name is Pyre. I haven't started a fire in 3 weeks. I've been clean for 6 years.
Hi, Pyre.
Anyway,
Yeah, so yeah, you get the food. When you get back, I don't know if you eat before or after dinner. You get back to your apartment, and the doors between have closed again. So he's probably back in his own house. Okay, so yeah, you guys have your first night's sleep. There, you guys wake up. Yeah, you guys wake up, and that's like the first thing you know is like you don't actually have an idea of what you need to do right now. Especially for Nessa, who just got out of jail, so she didn't know what to do like the first time around. Like she moved like 2 times like in 3 days. Same goes for well, Jingles probably doesn't care. He probably is like, okay, I have to do this. So yeah, but even for the others, you know, you're standing up, and normally you're in the bunker and you would have breakfast together, but now you have your own kitchen. You know, you had some free time, but you know, maybe you guys had like a meeting in the mornings at like that's but you don't know where you need to go to. So even for Entropy, like Entropy well doesn't wake up essentially, because he does. Well, sometimes he sleeps for fun. Always confusing. But yeah, like you're used to like having people around for all kinds of like shenanigans or normal life for you. But now you have this own private space where you have to live.
Entropy's actually not really sure what to do 100%. He'd probably like sort of wake up, quote unquote wake up, like get up out of his bed, look around for a moment and say, well, I think that was long enough to sleep. I don't know. I lost count after a couple thousand seconds.
Couple thousand sheeps.
Yeah, like I imagine he's literally been counting down how long he's actually supposed to sleep instead of actually sleeping. And sitting there, and he's just like, huh. He's just looking around his room, not sure what to do.
Yeah, there's also like no cameras like in your house or like in your hallways. Like normally, like as soon as you leave your living space, which was just a small bedroom and bathroom, you would have like cameras on you in the bunker. And now, when you go to the hallway, to the kitchen, no cameras, no. Like you can install them for W.I.P if you want, but they're essentially not there. There's like maybe a webcam, or I don't think if you have a computer, but maybe there's some smart fridge or something that W.I.P can use.
I can imagine my character just like again looking around, bored and confusion, pulling up like maybe his webcam, like saying hey to W.I.P, and then asking W.I.P what like maybe just a random world record, basically. Like, oh, how long has someone done such and such? And then my character will attempt to beat said record just out of boredom. He's now going to attempt to set world records. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. My character's going to literally set a world record because why not?
Yeah, so you start. What's the world record you're trying to make? I didn't.
Let's say how many. You know what a
What you? I think you fall away. There.
A paddle ball. Do you know what a paddle ball?
Yeah, I know a paddle ball. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have basically a record of how many paddle balls a person uses all at once.
Sure.
Like the most paddle balls used at once.
Yeah, for a certain amount probably, just to not be easily broken record. So you start doing that.
Yeah, apparently I actually just looked it up. It's 7. So my character is going to now do 8 paddle balls all at the same time.
Do you look it up, or did Entropy look it up?
Entropy would have looked it up.
Okay, because it would be more like in the future probably with mutants. And
Oh
stuff
yeah, so
around.
it'd be different maybe.
Yeah, let's say 13 or something.
All right, in that case, just as just as a sort of like slightly more of a fuck you, it's going to be a 15 instead of 13. Entropy's going to be perfectly trying to balance them all.
That I must
Kind of
say,
cheating.
just so
to
you
be
know,
fair, it is
Battle
kind
Ball,
of cheating, but
very American. Like I
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
think we have those here.
yeah, I know. But it was the first thing that came
Yeah,
to my end.
ju-
I was like,
just-
I was trying to reach for something, but I couldn't think of it.
I just think it's interesting. So yeah, all of you get an alarm. Basically, it's you guys get like emergency. You get an address and you get a button to press for ready, and you see like 0 out of 3, 0/3. I would say like Nessa, like, do you press the button, like for ready? on
Sure,
your
she's
phone?
curious.
So yeah, 1 out of 3, and Nessa, you know, we'll see how you get there in a second. Jib, who presses the button? Is W.I.P or Pyre pressing this button?
Well, one can't press the button. So
Yeah,
it's going to be the other one.
that's why I said like you can you know digitally because it's a phone, right? So you can imitate it of being a touch of a button if you want.
Yeah. It's going to probably be Pyre because, you know, it makes more sense for her to do. 'Cause
Yeah, like because you know Pyre gets the alarm would mean that it's safe enough. They think it's safe enough for her to go. Like if it was like, yeah, 3 mass murderers on the loose, they would not send Pyre. So yeah, same for Reggie. Entropy, while paddleballing, gets like his phone goes off, and I don't
Yeah,
know,
like,
getting-
and maybe like a 7th arm comes out of him somewhere and just like, oh, hey. Kenneth probably, I imagine, get it too. He's like probably walking back to the complex with like a chair just held in his tail. Because again, he broke one of his chairs. He went and bought another one.
that doesn't mean like Entropy and W.I.P didn't want to go. It's more like they were the latest to press. Like same probably for Jingles. Like he got the alarm, but
Mhm. I can imagine Entropy being a little bit like looking at it and being like, but I'm almost done.
yeah, right.
And then whatever, my brain just stopped. Kenneth being like, yeah, sure. Just pressing it immediately.
Yeah, so I would say just for the fun of it, it's at 0 out of 3. I would say 4, because basically you guys get like a Google Maps update from where you need to go. You leave your apartment, and there is Jingles in one of the most expensive fast cars for 5 persons, and he's like, get in, like he's the driver.
Jingles is the driver?
He has the driving skill. Like,
Get in, losers.
Okay.
We're going shopping.
he put PowerPoints in it.
What?
Yes, the spider can drive.
Yes, he actually put PowerPoints in.
Oh, no, I thought you meant as in, like, he has a PowerPoint presentation in the car. And I was like, what?
Oh, no. Oh,
Well, there's that too now, so that's canon.
Great. All right, anyway. But all right, fair enough.
So yeah, you guys get into like this expensive like sports car. Is anybody calling shotgun?
Who else going now?
So it's Nessa, Kenneth, and Pyre. And
Okay.
Nessa is like big, probably for her to fit in. Like it's gonna.
Kenneth would actually, like, look at Nessa and say, like, so you want shotgun?
I mean, if I take shotgun, the front seat's going to be back so far, the seat behind it can't actually fit
Yeah,
anyone.
but like somebody can sit in the middle of the back.
So Pyre's taking shotgun.
All right, I guess Pyre jumps into shotgun while we're
Pyre
talking.
says shot.
Yep.
Like you guys are discussing, and Pyre's like shotgun. Let's go sit in front.
I look over, see that, and just sort of, well, there goes that idea. All right, well, I guess you're in the back with me.
Nessa takes up 2 seats then, and awkwardly tries to get her legs inside the vehicle. It's a bit of a tight squeeze.
Yeah,
If it isn't a van.
Jingles presses a button and turns into a convertible, so the roof opens up. So yeah, a little bit.
Starts
more
raining
space.
just to spite us.
Sounds good.
And he's putting on the gas. He's not driving slowly. He probably
It sounds like Jingles.
it's another button and a siren goes off, like on your car. Yeah, you guys you get an update of what's actually going on. Apparently there was a robbery in a very crowded street. Some kind of jeweler has been robbed, but people have been passing out. Like nobody saw anything; they were just gone in a second. But people have been like passing out, like in the streets there. Like not for a long time. Maybe they fall over. Some maybe fall unconscious. But yeah, your guys are heading that way. Yeah. Do you have any questions you want to ask, like technical help before you get there? That's because you're in contact with like some emergency services, like police are on their way as well. So, like nobody's at the scene currently yet.
Right. We're on our way there too.
Yeah, you get
Like
the
at
alarm
the same time as okay. Let's see. Is there any questions? You guys got any questions?
If not, then we'll just get there. But I just want to let you guys know.
What are we
like? Oh yeah, we wanted to do this before we got while going there, and I didn't want you guys to not have that possible.
Okay.
Nothing out of the top of my head. No.
My character probably would have just simply asked for like maybe a layout, like a quick map of the surrounding area, just thing. Maybe that would be the only question he'd have. Like, is there any maps available for the area?
Yeah, there's probably like in the car. There's like this hologramic projector and a small hologram shows of like the street. It's basically like a long city center, lots of shops. The jeweler, not like on a particular place, just somewhere between the buildings. There's this jeweler. They know that the jeweler was like stolen because the alarms went off, and when they looked, some of the jewels were missing. And basically, they think they have to do with each other because just before the alarm went off, people fell down, and like other people fell down just after the alarm.
Right, okay.
So some sort of knockout something.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah.
Alright, I guess no more questions then.
Okay, so yeah, you guys get to the spot. You let me roll for something for Jingles just to see how fast you are there compared to like other. He's got vehicles. So there we go. So he rolled a natural 20 there.
Oh Lord.
Like, you guys are amazed by his driving skills. Like this small spidery creature just jangling things around.
Not even touching the pedals, mind you.
It's probably
No.
being like modified. For, like probably like buttons on the steering wheel for him to be able to press. However, he does have like Christmas music on the radio the whole time.
Of course he does.
It doesn't take you like a long time to get there, but you're the first there. Like the ambulances and police have not gotten there yet, so you see some people still passed on the ground. People are like around the people who are laying down, trying to help them, trying to do like CPR or calling emergency services. You guys have a siren, so some people come walking up towards your car, like. Everyone's like, yes, over there. He's lying down. We don't know what's wrong. And like, no, someone's laying over there. You should help us.
First up, let's see. He would look at the other two for a second, see if they were gonna do anything.
Pyre's immediately going to run over and try to help somebody. She has no clue.
What are you gonna do?
She doesn't know what she could do, but she's going to try and help.
So you guys get out of the car.
Yeah.
As soon as you get out of the car, Jingles tries to get out, but the car gets locked from by somebody. You're guessing.
And it's an open top.
You're guessing it. Yeah, well, the roof closes as well. You're guessing like Josh or Miss Bishaw make sure he currently does not leave the car.
Oh, great. Anyway, Nessa, you wouldn't happen to have any sort of healing abilities, would you? Anything?
Yep. Healing abilities? Who has healing abilities these days?
My character will sort of give just a shrug of just like, look, I don't really know what you can do yet, honestly. I was just curious.
I have a vague idea about what I can do myself, and so far, healing doesn't necessarily seem to be one of those things.
You hear some sirens and the ambulances get there, and people who were at you guys figured out that you're not that kind of help, and they run towards the ambulances.
I mean, real quick, phone vibrates a little bit. Just in general. And Whip speaks up. I can help. I can guide you all. I have treatments on how to... I know procedures on how to treat human subjects.
Kenneth closes his phone. Like, he turns his phone off real quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, you see like there's one ambulance just got here, a second ambulance arrives shortly after. The police also gets like in 1 minute, 2 minutes afterwards as well. They greet you guys knowing that you're here. They're like, hey, you guys, Super Parole, right?
That's right, sir.
That's what we're told.
So, what are you standing around for? Do you have anything to do while being here? I'm sorry, you're here first to the scene and you're just waiting?
Honestly, I'm not sure what the entire purpose of...
We got here about 30 seconds after you, before you did. We did
That
not have
too?
a chance
Like
to do
another
anything.
officer, like, calm down, and he's like, it's good that they wait. They're just starting, and they probably don't know what to do, like they said. Like he takes over the cop. Like, yeah, you go check if everyone's all right. I will go with him to this jeweler, and he leads you towards the jeweler. And he starts talking with you. He's like, first case, right? I thought you just got here yesterday.
That's correct.
Yes. Fairly new.
It's like, well, great first case, and so hopefully you guys like it. Well, one good thing, we just got here just before Halloween, 2 days from now, and Halloween in Paris, man, it's great.
Well, good. My favorite time of the year.
So, the person that's talking to everyone, his phone's going to vibrate, and Whoop's going to chime in from there.
Yeah, you.
Now, on to the actual case of the situation, please.
Jim.
This is a cop, so they probably restrict access for you. So if you want to try that, you have to make some sort of what would it be? Technology roll.
Hacking. I have hacking and technology, so...
yeah, hacking in this case. Where do you have hacking? Oh, yeah, there you go. Because this is like highly barred for you, trying to get you out.
33?
Yeah, so you roll a 13, 33. So, I would say you temporarily get access. What do you want to do?
Now then, enough about the scenic of Paris. How about the actual case now? From his phone.
It's like,
Kenneth will look at the phone, roll his eyes, and just ignore whatever's being said out of it.
he's like, Whip, right?
That would be correct, sir.
That's what I thought. Well, if you notice, Whip, we're just entering the building. There was not much I could do from the outside. And I just wanted to have a friendly talk with these colleagues of yours before we got here. And now I could have already started explaining to them what was happening, but I had to explain to you first why I wasn't doing that. So
He does have a point.
So he goes on like, And secondly, and he goes like, we have no idea what's happening. Like people passing out. We just got in the car, so like people are probably thinking stuff like terrorist attack again. I don't hope this is Black Sludge. And he like looks at Kenneth and he's like, ooh, I'm sorry, Mr. Peterson.
No
there's
big
just some,
deal.
I don't say that you're. I totally trust that you're an okay guy, and I'm here to work. I'm sorry. I'm just making this awkward. And he like, he's like, okay, so, sorry to ask you, like, who is this one? And he points at Nessa.
I'm really new. I'm honestly not sure what I'm supposed to be doing here in any way, shape, or form. A lot of this is beyond my skill set.
Just
No.
to remind Pyre and
Kenneth?
Kenneth, this is also your guys' actual first mission on the Super Bowl.
Right. Kenneth sort of just look over at her and be like, you know, for someone as tall as you don't really have much confidence, do you?
You would be correct.
Well, anyway, don't worry about it. We're all new here. This is all a new situation in the first place. All right, let's go talk to that owner.
Yeah, the cops come in. The cops like, it's good that you're here. Like, we'll of course be handling the case as well. It's just like if there's like again a superhero guy here or an invasion, terrorist attack, we want somebody with us to if they come back or go
Some
after
muscle.
them.
Some muscle, understandable.
Yeah, and it's sometimes easier to think in a certain mindset of superpowers when you actually have superpowers. I mean, I think. Well, then, and then he walks to the shop owner and he's like, the shop owner comes to him. He's like, oh, somebody finally here. Well, that's finally here. So welcome. Yes. As you noticed, would have heard things have been stolen. Not all of it. Like he points to some cases, like this necklace, these rings, especially some diamonds over here. We didn't see anything. There were some customers inside. Like my two colleagues were working, and he points out like to like a woman who would sitting behind the counter. There's like a guy who's more like a security guy, like a bigger, stronger guy. And he's like, I don't know. They probably use some kind of technology or a superpower to get that right. And the cop goes have a look like at some of the missing stuff. What do you guys do? Like, well, you have this guy, you can look for the stuff, you can ask some people here.
Okay. And the security footage didn't show, like, assuming there were security cameras in this place, didn't show who this person looked like?
Yeah, so somebody would probably the cop, like security footage is currently being checked. They're currently there. There's nothing to be seen. There's no like a person coming in, walking in for like an hour. There's no like missing time. So the camera, like 1 second it's there, and another second this stuff is gone.
No, so even if there was somebody standing here trying to be, muscle, as it were, it wouldn't matter anyway. Because there's no time skip on the tape,
But
presumably.
they're checking if there's not something wrong with like the camera. It's been like around 20 minutes ago since the robbery happened, so it's not like there was an hour thing, because you guys almost like immediately got called and went towards.
I'm actually going to lean down to Pyre and sort of like speak in her ear and say, why don't you go talk to that lady behind the counter there and see if you can... why don't you go talk to the lady behind the counter there and see if she saw or heard anything weird before it happened. I'll go talk to the muscle.
Alrighty then. I assume she came back from attempting to help people, despite the fact that she can't. And
well, the emergency medical service literally showed up and was helping.
Yeah,
it was already assumed
you
that
probably
Pyre
saw
came
some
back.
people already standing up. It's not like they
Okay.
got hurt; they just were out of breath for a second.
All right, then she would have returned to the group after that, and now she's going to go over to the lady to talk to.
What are you gonna do, Nessa?
That's a good question.
You can either
Somebody's talking to the muscle. Somebody's talking to one of the hands that was helping.
You're free to
There's a whole
talk to him if you want.
you can go
I
with
don't
two
care
of you.
one either.
Like you don't have to.
Exactly.
Good
She's
cop,
ju-
bad cop.
She's just considering for a moment because I'm just gonna lay out her thought process, as it were.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Go ahead.
So two people are being interrogated by two of the groups so far. The security footage showed a time stop event, essentially.
well, the timer just went on still. So there's like a time and like
Like it was literally like no time. One moment everything was there, and then the next moment everything was.
well, not
gone.
everything. Like a few specific things were stolen.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the items were there, and then they just were gone.
Yes, but they're still checking if there was not like something messed up with the cameras because it's easy to make
Right.
a fake.
She has one question about that though. Is that if there's a clock in the camera's field of view?
Yes.
Because if there's a clock in the camera's field of view, and the time on the clock syncs up with the time on the tape, then it's a time stop event. However, if it doesn't, then the tapes get stopped.
Oh, sorry. You mean like no? There was not. Well, yeah,
Like a
they-
wall
they-
clock
they
that
probably
the camera
could
was
zoom
looking at.
in. They haven't thought of it, but they zoom. When you mention it, they zoom in on the watches that they have in this store. So even though they're not the correct time, they can see all the watches. Like see that they're still on the same time before.
So
that
time
second
did
came.
not stop then.
No, time did stop
Stop.
because the watches didn't skip forward in between before and after the robbery. So the time did stop during the robbery.
Or it was literally instantaneous. It doesn't have to be necessarily a stop.
Again, could
It could
still
literally have happened in a moment.
it
Yeah,
could still be
It
like
could have been.
it could still be like hacked, like it's the future. Like you could, it's possible. You guys would know that it's possible to actually, because these are very smart cameras and they probably have like facial recognition. It will be evil to erase like one person, like if you wear like particular clothes, to erase one person from those cameras. That actually one of the possibilities, or record like something from the day before, and like if you have enough recordings you could simulate what's going on. Like there's lots of stuff that they could do to make fake camera feeds.
Anyway.
So yeah,
And then you've got
go ahead. Sorry.
somebody else was starting, so
Yeah, so Pyre,
hold off.
you walk off to the woman. She's like, Pyre, right? I saw you in the tournament. You were doing great. I was actually rooting for you. It's great that you won.
Oh.
You really showed Midas there.
Thank you, but I'm more concerned about you at the moment. Is everything okay?
Well, she's like, I'm fine. Like, like suddenly, you're probably here because of Robbie. So I was working. I was, with the back. She was turned around, and like, there was nobody in the store at the moment. And suddenly, the alarms go off, but also, like some of the glass, it would break. And you look around, you see where some stuff got stolen. The glass has been broken. And I don't know if I was just frightened, but I really had issues grabbing for air. It's just like there was no. She was like, I just felt unwell like the second it happened.
Is there anything else that you can take a guess at, maybe?
Just like, well, she let me make a roll for her for how much she can guess here. If you're asking her, well, she rolled a 19, so she's like, well, the boss asked me to do like a quick inventory of what has been stolen, and what is peculiar is when the amount that has been stolen, it's not that much, and it's also not the most stuff that's the most worth. They have the most highest price tags, but it doesn't mention that they're most worth per se.
Hmm. What was like exactly stolen, if I may ask? Was it just
Yeah, so
cans of food?
hmm Sorry.
What was stolen exactly? Like cans of food?
No, jewelry, Jim. We're in a jewelry
Oh, this
store.
is this jewelry store. Okay. All right. Let me rephrase that. What was exactly stolen? I'm not too familiar with types of jewelry.
Fucking canned food?
I-
Fuck you
I,
want?
I thought we were in a grocery store. I apologize. I got mixed up.
Yeah, I was like, wait, did you say canned foods? So, oh, my dog suddenly came in. Let me think. Yeah, she would mention like some of the necklaces, some rings. So probably like the three most, like again the three necklaces with the highest price tag. Doesn't mean they're the most worth. The few rings with the highest price tags. Maybe some earrings, like all kinds of stuff. If you it's easy to carry. Like if you list all the stuff, like one person should be easily able to carry that. Like they didn't. There are some heavy stuff that's worth much, like maybe like a big clock, or I'm thinking of a jeweler. Like maybe they have some like big diamond or some gold bars on display or some other like fancy furniture. Those things have not been stolen. Like there's even probably like some like extra expensive items in like special displays in a more like stronger boxes, and those have not been stolen as well.
Was there any noise, or was it just the noise of glass breaking and then?
So she goes like, yeah, the alarms went off, the glass would break, but for some reason the sound was like muzzled for a few seconds. She doesn't know because she didn't get any air, because she was maybe just because she was hard to breathe and was not good in her head, maybe headache, like a migraine. She doesn't know. Maybe that's why the sound was like muzzled for a second, muffled. But yeah, that what she.
Was it like your ears ringing, sort of thing?
No, not really ringing. She says more like the sound was softer than expected, and after like a second, the sound became actually like she goes like, you know, in the movies after the explosion, there is a ringing sound, but if people talk, it's a little bit mumbled. So it's that without the ringing sound, I guess. And she's like, maybe there was some ringing. I don't know.
Well, that's all I can think of at the moment.
So yeah, was Kenneth going to the guard?
Yeah. He'll go up to the guard, like, probably hold his hand out to shake the hand. Again, he's always wears gloves, if that's a worry about. I should mention.
Yeah, like you know, he had his arms crossed, and he goes out to shake your hand. He probably says his name, and he's like, yeah, I know the drill. So you think I stole it, didn't you?
Nah. No, sir. Just going around asking questions, you know, things like that. Honestly, we have nothing to believe that you stole it or anything of the kind.
He's like a bit surprised. Well, okay then. How may I be of service then?
Well, I was just gonna ask a few questions, honestly, about, like, you know, what exactly happened right before the robbery, what happened during it, and a little bit afterwards. Could you please recount what exactly happened, if you don't mind?
So, no one was in the shop except for me and the girl. The boss was in the back. That was about 25 minutes ago. 20. I felt somebody coming in because I was standing next to the door, and I felt a small push. But before again I looked up, I got a bit dizzy. And now he's looking you straight in the eyes. You see one of the eyes, like one of the veins in his eyes has popped, and there's a bit red there. He's like, yeah. Suddenly, this glass was clinging against me because I was standing next to this one, and he shows like one of the things was stolen. He was standing next to, and I don't know, like, and then suddenly glass from all the sides broke as well, and she started to scream, and he points at the girl. I actually haven't seen much.
Alright, well that helps a little bit. You said you were hit by some glass. Do you need to go talk to the medical professionals?
He goes like, no, the glass, it wasn't that hard of a hit. He's like, I used to fight in the war. That was a few years ago, like against, as the Hatman. It's like, it was not like an explosion here. Like if you look at it, he points at the glass, like, see how close it is to where actually it got broken in. It was not a big impact. Like, and if you look, like, most of the glass is actually fallen inside of the glass of the where the stuff is kept, but where he was standing, like you see most of them were like, this one was behind the counter, so the way it got opened, the glass, it was on the other side. Like you see like various points of entry. Like most of them are in like the path people walk, but this was one which was crushed behind the counter.
Mm-hmm. Kenneth will sort of just like be observing the glass and look at stuff, and he says, fair enough, I see. Current theory, if you don't mind me mentioning it, is most likely someone, a fast runner, maybe, or a superpowered runner, possibly of some kind, coming in, smashing it, and then taking it. That would certainly explain the explosion of glass, the sudden weird sound effect, the sudden weird effects of sound and almost airlessness.
He's like, well, maybe. Wait, why the air though? Like you were saying, if somebody comes in real fast, it takes.
I don't know. That's just me thinking out loud. Don't worry about it.
Let me see for Kenneth here, because he does have a point there. Let me see here for your. I want to say roll an intellect check, but I don't see if anything. I'm just checking if you have anything. Well, you used to be a thief yourself, right?
Yes, I used to be a thief myself, or a gang member at least.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say you can roll insight on this since you have some knowledge there.
Okay. I meant to have a couple of different expertise. I felt maybe there's somewhere else on my sheet, but
yeah, I can't find them. But, you have some PowerPoint.
I was supposed to have some expertise, but maybe I just didn't have enough points. I have a couple of extra points I need to spend eventually anyway, but I'll deal with that another day. But I should honestly have a few. I don't know why I don't. Maybe I forgot to put them in whenever I was making my character. Oh well. Anyway, what was I thinking? You said insight then?
Yeah, roll insight then, because I don't see any. So yeah, you rolled an 8, yes, but like, let's say you want to put in there, because where's your expertise? Yeah, like some of the things you say do make sense. Like you see somebody, it looks like somebody. If you do a quick grab and you weren't a runner, this is what you would have done. you do see like they went for what looked most expensive because of the price tag. But those shit, one, it's not always the easiest to sell. He did went for some light stuff, but it doesn't look like somebody planned it out that good. Another thing is something you could test, knowing your hypothesis there. You have a dog that can run super fast. Like that is something you can maybe use to try to reproduce what happened here.
That is a good point. That's a very good point, actually.
Yeah.
Kenneth will be thinking about all this and sort of be like, okay. Anyway, I'll deal with that in a moment. All right, buddy, tell me then. So you said that you felt a sudden like it was hard to breathe, right?
He didn't say that. He said it. Something bumped into him.
Okay.
Yeah, and when he looked up, some glass got hit him. He did get a bit dizzy when he got up from the knock, but he like the girl said.
I'm sorry, I must got mixed up there. My apologies. All right, in that case, my guy will ask. You said you felt like someone bumped into you. Exactly. What do you mean by that?
Well, I was standing still and I suddenly stumbled like somebody knocked against my shoulder.
Was it an especially hard hit, like softer hit? Not really, like almost. You said it almost knocked you over. So was it especially hard? Wouldn't you feel?
Well, I don't think so. I didn't like. Not like it was super strength, like flying across the room. I was able to keep my foot. I just lost my footing for a second. But it did feel like a bump, not like someone was, taking something like grabbing my leg, or it felt like a bump. And you look next to him because he's still standing to the door. It's one of those automatically opening doors, but they always have them like on open during the day. So it's not like that needed to react for somebody to get in.
Right. All right, my character. I'm starting to piece together a few things. I think. But,
what's Nessa doing? Or maybe we'll go back to you in a second.
Yeah, move over to someone else.
Yeah. Agro?
So it's Nessa again instead of your Pyre was next because it was me then.
Well, because you haven't done any. Wait, what have you done between Pyre and? Did I miss something? Is it you have? It was Pyre.
No, you did. You haven't really done anything. So.
Oh. Okay.
Right. I'm just trying to figure out what she would do in this whole situation where she's not familiar with exactly what she's supposed to be doing. She's not necessarily doesn't have an idea as to what to do. This is beyond her.
You could go like outside and see if you see anything there. You could go inside. You can talk to the boss. You can look at stuff that has been like. There's some. You can even just like, okay, my character would stand there, and that's an option, right? You don't have to be like, oh, I'm an investigator. You can be like, nope, she doesn't know what to do in this situation, but that's okay.
She default to helping the medics, I guess, get the people sorted out.
Well, you were thinking of the camera feed. Is that something you like? The boss can go to the back and actually show it to you if you want. If that's something you.
Well, I mean, that was already described as happening though. Like that already got described as something.
At a certain point, right? You could get like if that was said by the police because they're still looking into it. But if you
Nessa, stop trying to get out of doing anything.
I'm not trying to not do anything.
No. Okay, so, Pyre, is there anything you want to search in this, like, have a look at inside of this jewelry store?
She's gonna see if she can find all the, like, specific things that were stolen. Like, if there's an image of what was taken.
Yeah, so the police start tagging them. They already took, like, a small inventory, so you do get to take the pictures. You guys get like this automated file from the Super Parole, so it's currently already has the picture of what has been stolen, like pre-pictured. like just like how it looks, how expensive it is. You do, and now the police is filling up this file as well with like actual crime scene pictures that they're taking in the store. You probably get some from the outside as well. We'll discuss that later when you guys go if you guys go outside. Or yeah, like I said, like very expensive price tag stuff. Easy to carry, easy to access. Like one of the, and for some reason this person actually went for the tag. It's not like, oh, I have this one open, I grab everything from this from what's in here, because he could have taken like, oh, I've broken this open and I take all these necklaces. No, he's like, okay, I open this and I take 2 most expensive necklaces and I go on to the next one.
You had time to check
If it
prices
was one
or
person,
new boat
it could have
prices.
been multiple persons, and that's why it happened that way, of course.
What if maybe she's gonna say to whoever listens, what if maybe a guy came in or a girl came in before and looked at these ones specifically and was like really, really into these ones? Maybe that will help find our guy?
So yeah, he said it to Gup, and he's like, yeah, maybe. We'll run facial recognition on people who've been here. Like he asked asked the guy behind the counter, like the boss, like how often do you change your store, your wares? And he goes like, oh, some stuff I have for days, some stuff for weeks, some stuff for years. I mean, I he's like, I do keep my alarm system up to date and my what would that be? My insurance. Make sure I have enough wares. But yeah, like some of these, like, and he grabs the list and he's like, well, this one was very new, maybe like 2 weeks old. This been here for some years, few months. Yeah, like the newest was here 2 weeks ago.
So let's try and see if we can get everyone that was here the past 2 weeks then.
Yeah, so they'll start running facial recognition on the feed they have. Yeah, you'll get those in a few hours.
Okay.
At this point, I think everyone can. Like, is there anyone who wants to do anything inside still? Have a look at, talk to someone.
Yeah, I kind of do a little bit, but number one, I was gonna ask the guy one more question before I leave him be for. I was gonna ask him like if there was any sort of sound, if there was any sort of noise or like anything sort of like pressure on his ears at all during the entire thing.
I'm gonna roll for him as well. More of his general perception he had during.
Because Kenneth has a minor idea of maybe what might have happened.
So yeah,
like what might have exactly happened here. But
he rolled a 15 here, so he was standing near the door,
mhm.
and for his 15, is the feeling that there was, even though everything exploded at once, he felt like it was a bit of a domino effect where stuff exploded like just a little bit outside before it exploded here, and again some stuff exploded outside after here, but not at the same time. Like if there like was like a super fast domino effect.
All right, anyway, fair enough. All right, in that case, I'll leave them alone. I actually am going to go over to the cameras and just sort of run through the entire days, like so far the entire days, like go through the entire camera thing, just watch it, like maybe at like 2-3 times the speed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so they take you to the back, and basically you have the camp set up like this that you get a holograph. Like it's basically the same holograph they showed like in the car, like how the building looks and where it's standing out from the inside, and where everyone was. Maybe even like facial recognition, like on the person who were actually in the store, so the person's working there. You do see that the guy you just talked to, he has a criminal record. It does show on this camera feed. Doesn't say what he's done, just like criminal records. Same for the girl um, behind the counter. Also has a criminal record. Yeah, you go to like you want to go like slow motion to see if you see anything.
No, I'm wondering again, like throughout the entire day, like how,
you go through
what
my
time
entire
is
day?
it?
Okay, I got you. So yeah,
Yeah, just like sped up. I just want to like look through the entire day and see if there's any interesting people that come in. Basically, I'm watching to see who comes in
yeah.
throughout the day. Basically,
Let me check.
because I have a theory and I'm curious about.
Like roll an investigation for me.
Investigation.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let's see here. I don't even know if I have investigation, but we'll find out, I
You can
guess.
still roll d20 probably, even if you have nothing in the skill, I guess. I think it just
Yeah, true
roll
enough.
simple d20. So you got a 2.
Yay!
So basically, like multiple people go in during this day. Well, yeah, I would say like it was not right behind breakfast. I would say Entropy has been doing paddle ball for like 2-3 hours. Maybe woke up late before he started doing this. So it's probably like 1 in the afternoon. There's some like, probably somebody searching for a wedding ring or for an engagement ring, like a few couples. There's this guy, a few businessmen, a few women who are shopping. There is an old person who walks in with a cane. He just has a look, doesn't buy anything. And there is a school class, like a few people from a school. They're probably maybe like in the city for a day, since it's like a I'm guessing it's a work day because I know the date, but I didn't check which actual day it is. But let's say it's a school day, so you're guessing they're on some kind of trip to the city, or maybe from a different like city or country, and they just like a few students wanted to go see this expensive jewelry store. So again, they just had a look. They didn't buy anything. They just thought it was fun to look in here. They do wear a I want to say costume, but a school clothes, an school outfit.
Okay.
Yeah.
My character is just going to like sort of look through it real quick. Sigh when he realizes he can't really see anyone, especially like suspicious that he feels, honestly.
Yep.
Or maybe he did, but he can't really tell, basically, He might have, but he just straight up is unable to tell. So he just sighs and says, "Oh, that's a waste." Anyway, I'm done. I just wanted to see if I could do that.
Sure.
Apparently I couldn't roll high enough to do anything with it.
So yeah,
even if there was anything there or not. I don't even know if there was.
So yeah, you tell the cops like you've got all the information you got from here. He's like, we'll send you any data we have, like what you asked or some pictures they take from the crime scene. He lets you know that some people have been taken to the hospital, and that yeah, like some people are okay, are still outside. Like a small crowd has gathered outside. Just because like there's police, there's ambulances, and like some people just love to see what's going on. When you guys head outside, let's all of you make a perception check.
Okay. Hello? Anybody paying attention other than...
Yeah, Nessa rolled
Yeah.
one. Kenneth got a 23, and
Sorry, Nessa. You and me rolled at the exact same time, so I
Pyre
didn't
rolled
realize you
one.
had rolled.
So Nessa is too much in her head, just like, what the fuck do I need to do? So Kenneth and Pyre, they look around. What you guys notice is not like that all windows outside broke. There's like some small damage, more like parked cars. That there a window like broke towards the inside. You see some. You see in the distance, like one that does stand out is there's like this general store where the windows have been broken from the have been blown to the outside, the glass.
That would immediately get Kenneth's attention, I feel. Because if everything else has been blown, like, you know, from the outside in, and this one's from the inside out, that definitely would, like, throw up some flags right there.
Yeah.
It's a little wiener dog.
I mean, the escape window, maybe?
Anyway, I'd actually look at Nessa and say, Nessa,
Yes.
Pyre,
Yes.
let's go over to the convenience store.
Okay.
All right.
She runs over blindly and goes to open the door, walk in, holding the door for everyone else to come in
Yeah.
after.
What you also see is like, you see Lid still trying to get out of the car, and now he's also trying to start the car, but he's not able to start the car as well.
Jingle, yeah.
Sorry, Jingles. Sorry, Lid's the player. Sorry. You're
Yeah, that's fine.
so many names.
That's okay.
So yeah, you go to the grocery store. Again, this is a door that's. There were two open and shut doors, so that you have to like actually open them yourself. One of the doors has been broken down. It seems to be damaged when you enter. When you look inside, like some of the wares seem to be on the ground. Like there's bags of chips that seem to be went open, and there's some chips on the ground. Like all kinds of stuff that has been sealed has now been opened up. So you see some people working there. They're cleaning up. And they see you walking in, especially like Kenneth and Nessa, drawing some eyes. Like these are young, like 15. Like these are teenagers, like working here, mostly currently. So they're just eyeing at you. Like one person walks up to you and is like, "Is this something I can help you with? Sorry, the store is currently a bit of a mess. Is it like storming outside or something?"
No, unfortunately not. There seems to have been what can only be described as a robbery, I believe would be the best way to say it.
Oh, that explains this. Okay, we just like thought like a strange storm just hit the city. As you can see, some of our, well, she's like a bit confused, like what with that happening. So sorry, who got robbed? Like where did they?
Do you know the jewelry store down there? Would I know the name of the jewelry store?
Yeah, you would know the name. I'm just not naming.
All right, I'd
a
mention
few
it.
buildings down. She's like, well, yeah, I sometimes get out of there. I pass it down. Like one of the other people like comes down. Like overheard and is also interested and walks towards you guys and like, it's like, what were the guns? Was there a stick up? Did anybody get hurt?
There were a few people who did get hurt, unfortunately. I believe some like sort of they passed out, and a few of them are at the hospital now. Some of them seem to be okay and just getting up on their own. Others are I'm unsure about, but yeah, some of them apparently were sent over to the hospital. They should be okay though, as far as I know.
Well,
Nothing serious.
that's
At least that's what we think right now.
Sorry, but is there anything why are you here? Is there anything we can help you with?
Well, actually, I was kind of curious about this place because of a number of different places have been, of course, damaged, and like a few of the windows of different stores and whatnot have been broken in and stuff like that. Nothing else as far as I'm aware of that's stolen, but we're gonna have to look into that honestly. Like, I actually will look at the other and say we should mention that, by the way, that there's a possibility more has been stolen without people realizing.
Well, she's like, well, we didn't check if anything's been stolen. Like, stuff just starting. Well, I wouldn't say exploding, but exploding. Well, if when a bag of chicks explodes, and she's like, some of the cans they start to like like the other guy goes like, I'm telling you, it was ghosts. It was the ghosts of my father. The other goes like, your father's still alive. He's like, yeah, but he hates the living shit out of me.
My character will actually look at the guy saying this and say, we haven't ruled that out. Nowadays, in today's superheroed and superpowered world, well, maybe not the ghosts of your father or whoever it was you just said. It's very possible someone was using a power that they recently discovered, maybe, or even an old super having decided that they wanted to steal something.
At this point, like, you're scared when you mention that the ghost actually might be real, even though it's his father's still alive, and then you mention it's probably not his father. Like, okay. Then you mention it's somebody having powers, and he just looks at his hands. Like, did I do that?
Okay.
I have powers?
Now he's confused.
Pyre takes 3 steps back and whispers, I think this man has gone mad.
My character will actually sort of give a small smile and say, well, nowadays supers are more what's it called? Sorry, my brain keeps stopping.
Common, frequent, often.
Frequent, common, that works.
Often
I bet it isn't.
Superheroes are getting more and more common as time goes by. You never know. Some people might wake up to their powers and not really know how to.
So he's like, are you gonna arrest me now? Just because I discovered my powers? Wait, what's my power? Can I just makes food explode?
I'd look at him. I'd literally look at him and look.
Like,
I don't even have
the girl
any proof.
next to her is like, actually is like face-palming the shit out of him. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. I don't know if you do have any powers, buddy. I'm just a hawk in here. Certainly, there are ways to test, though. Imagine if you go to your local hospital, local government agency, they can easily test to see if there's anything like that, and you might even be able to get certified as a hero if you did. I imagine they pay well.
He's like,
at least the ones that are on the right side of the law.
He's like, sure, I'll go to a hospital and get registered and become a hero. And he slowly walks back to the back of the store.
What is wrong with that guy? I asked the girl after
she's
he
like,
leaves.
He's the boss's son. I'm so sorry. I think he's just high. Always.
When you got it.
She looks at you like, wait, what?
I immediately look at Pyre, except when you're too young to be using it.
But can I help you in any way? You were saying that you were confused
Oh,
about the clock.
yes.
Well, yeah. As soon as like some of the food started exploding, afterwards, well, she says like, something was thrown out through the window from the inside, and she's like, yeah, we found this, and I'm thinking what is like very heavy in a convenience store that can break a window. They probably saw like baseball bats, and it was like a baseball bat, like next to the broken glass.
Hmm.
Um,
Let's see. Tell me, did you happen to, do you guys happen to have any sort of like video surveillance or anything?
it's like, yeah, I do. I must admit, I don't. My boss never checks if it actually works, but we can have a look.
Excellent.
Please follow me if you don't mind. So she takes.
What
You to
about
the
you
back.
two?
Sorry.
Are you two just gonna be following me? Hello, guys. Anyone
Yeah?
else here?
Yeah. So,
I honestly, I'm gonna pipe up after conversation. Do you think that man actually has powers? If he does, do you think he's actually going to use it for good?
Well, I don't know. Pyre, why don't you go talk to him and see about that?
I'm gonna go see if I can find him.
yeah. So
What about you, Nessa?
Uh,
We need to
Oh.
be splitting up and actually doing something. I can't be the one leading everyone around.
I'm aware of this. I'm trying to I've been thinking about how they would have done this and like the reasonings behind it. And yeah, you do bring up a good point. But if it was somebody who's delinquent, just figured out their powers, what are the chances that they'll actually stay around anywhere close to the area? As soon as they realize that they have the potential to get caught, they're going to be fleeing. Now, if you discovered these jewels that went missing, turning up in, say, a swap shop down the road, then we'd have our target. Then we'd have who stole this. Because regardless, taking jewelry isn't going to make you any money. As soon as the jewelry comes back onto the market, though, then you have the potential to make some money. However, yeah, until that time, if this person's a speedster in any way or able to like slow time or what have you, they're certainly going to be fairly easy to run away. Sorry, it's going to be fairly easy for them to run away and evade capture. So
My character will just sort of shrug and actually say, I didn't run away from my first crime. I came back.
to look and watch to see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't help it. I was curious. Anyway, your idea is valid, though. Maybe you should talk around to see if there's any local pawn shops around the place. I'm sure the cops would be willing to help.
Will do. So that's what this is going to do.
yeah, are you gonna go to the pawn shop? Like, are you gonna Google the pawn shops and walk to them, or are you gonna tell to the cops like, are there any pawn shop we can check out or keep an eye on? Like,
Talk to
what's your plan?
Talk to the cops.
Yeah, so okay. You're heading towards the cops. Yeah. So for Pyre, you head off where the guy was going. So you open like the storage area. Normally you're not allowed there, but they let you pass because you have a Super Parole badge. Yeah, you see this guy. He just put like a bag of chips in front of him on a crate, and he's just going like, "Come on, come on!"
This motherfucker really is high.
And
I'm
he
shaking
didn't
my
notice you
head.
coming in.
I'm shaking my head, staring.
Are you gonna say anything? Because he didn't notice you coming in.
No, I'm just watching. I don't want to be near him. Even if he does have powers, I don't want to be near him. Paris is full of weirdos.
So yeah,
They eat snails. That's not food. That's a snail.
so Kenneth goes to oh yeah, you're gonna check the camera feed. So you're checking
Yeah.
the camera feed. It's a bit different from the other camera feed. It does look a bit similar, but this time cause they have worse. They don't have the great, you know, they still have like the old system actually. Like they have cameras everywhere, but it's still like on the screen and they have to scroll through them. So they take the time about it happens of the time. They see the door opens, like one of the two doors opens, like, and then it like closes like very hard, like gets stuck. And you look at the different feeds, like most of the stuff like like explodes at the same seconds. Maybe there's like a small time difference of when like that stuff explodes. Like there falls something down. You see a person actually falling unconscious somewhere in a corner in the back. And she reacts to it like, oh, wait, maybe there's still someone. I have to go. Please have a look. And she goes to check if the person's still there, because nobody has been there before. So yeah, you see, like if you look at the camera of the door, so there's the moment it goes open, where it actually goes closed. A moment where like the glass breaks. We see the baseball bat, like we see, and when you look at the baseball bat, like where they keep them, it just disappears for a moment, and then reappears going through the window, and then the doors opens and closes again, like real quick.
My character will sort of just after having looked at all this, sort of sit back a bit and say, this definitely has to be some sort of super. There's no way anyone, like, even, like, technology, I don't think could do something like that. Not that fast, anyway. Kenneth is actually going to sort of scroll back a little bit and go to the point whenever the woman or the person sort of passed out, and is just going to play that moment like frame by frame as best he can, and just sort of watch that.
Yeah, so the person's just walking and it just falls down. Like there's no you don't see anything. You do see like there's not much to see on the frame by frame here.
He goes back and does a frame by frame of the baseball bat area, like, you know, where they keep the baseball bats.
So
he like does a frame by frame of that one.
You see the bat. You see like a blurry image of something next to the bat, and then it's like at a whole different spot, like where you expect like a normal person to walk, where you're guessing it's super fast. Something has gone, because seeing how far it went, and you probably go to where the door was, and again you see this blur throwing the baseball bat, the glass breaking. You see the blur going through the broken glass of the door, like a bit, and then the door opens and the blur goes out and the door closes behind him.
Okay, my character's going to sort of nod his head when he finds this, and is actually going to get up and sort of like first up he's going to mark where he, like, basically try and mark where it was. If the system lets him mark the place that he is, he's going to try and mark it, you know, so he doesn't lose the spot. Anyway, then he's going to go out of wherever he is and sort of like go off to try and find the police or something like that and get their attention, you know.
Yeah, so that's where we go ahead. As Nessa is heads off towards some of the police persons. They're currently setting off the area. Like, you know, no persons allowed. We're trying to get some clues here. They see you walking outside of the shop, and they're like, "You found anything?" That's towards Nessa. Who's heading towards
Nessa.
Hydro.
That was towards me or was it Kenneth? Because Kenneth was also walking towards the police.
Yeah, but you stated before that you were running ahead to the police to talk about Ponce, so you're
I had
first.
a period of time I was doing stuff. I misinterpreted
that. That's my apologies.
No, that's okay.
Alright.
So, like, you found anything?
Just wondering if you guys have started to check in with the pawn shops and secondhand stores in the area.
Well, that's what we're gonna do, but it's been like 30 minutes. I don't think that they already sold it. Oh. Like,
Somebody could have came by already.
yeah, that's.
I mean, before news really gets out that there's been such a robbery.
That's a good point. And he's like, yeah, you there. Get on what she said. And he's like, wait, what? Check the pawn shops real quick. They might be selling this stuff before got there. Make it a broad search, like outside of Paris, please. Let's do whole France.
There's no saying if this person was fast or not, and if they were fast, then the jewels could end up quite a ways away from this location.
And the guy goes like, sure. Wait,
Right.
I'm still thinking it's a group. You see how much they took? How the speed? I think it's a group. You think it's one person?
What? It's up in the air.
Like, you know your guy's car alarm's going off, right? What's wrong with your guy's car? And he's pointing at the car, and he's
God damn it.
Jingles like shaking the whole thing. Like you hear some Christmas music like blaring between like the alarms and the sirens. At this point, it's probably like there's like small snowflakes coming from the sky.
I could be mean right now, and I mean, there's definitely a way to shut the car alarm off.
Like at that point, probably like also the car alarm gets off when it's pointed out towards you guys. Like, that sunshine is also like MILF. Like the radio keeps on and it keeps the snow slowly gets faster. Like, and he goes like, why were you in the grocery shop? Is there any clues there? You think?
There's seemingly been another robbery in there, and there might yet be more clues. So it might not be a bad idea to send an investigator over to there to assist with my companion in his investigation.
Sure. Okay. Is there anything else we can help you with?
It's all that's coming to mind at the moment.
That's fine. Doing a great job. And he like he just points at another agent and sends him inside towards the grocery store. Pyre, you have been watching this guy for like 5 minutes trying to use his power. After a while, the bag of chips does fall, but it's probably more because of he didn't put it on a stable position.
The wind pushed it.
Yeah, more like maybe he hit something and it just shook it off. Like clearly it wasn't him. He's like, wait, was that me? And then he like looks around and he sees you. And it's like, did I?
No, you didn't.
What?
Keep trying though.
How do you do it? Like you have some powers, right? You're with the Super Parole. Show me. And he like put the bag of chips back on where he kept it.
I sure. What do you want me to do to it?
Well, make it drop. Can you make it drop?
I walk over, push it off.
He's like, well, you know I meant using your powers, right?
Alright. She is going to snap her finger. A little fireball appears in front of her, on the top of her finger, and she flicks it to knock it off. Not setting on fire, just push it.
Yeah, it falls off. He's like, whoa. So it's just snapping your fingers. He starts snapping his fingers, but he gets a bit like hypnotized of his snapping fingers, and he just keeps doing it.
I shake my head. This guy.
Yeah, while you're in the back here, you do notice, like you passed some doors to get here. Nothing seems to be destroyed or damaged in here. Like not as similar as outside. Like maybe there's some, some cigarettes or something on the ground. But nothing like, broken in a similar way. And he's like, after a while, he just stops he's like, no. And he grabs his chips, like, hot. And he just puts it back on the shelf and he starts trying again. I can't do this! And he goes like, he would start naming like anime and gaming stuff. He would be like, Hadouken! Just everything, like the Spider-Man things, like...
Look, I'm your father! Damn it, no.
No.
May the force be with you! Like, he's like, all trying all these kinds of shit.
And then we got copyright struck.
Well, it's the
Please,
future.
they wouldn't copyright strike us.
Yeah,
You'd actually have to
not
play some
selling
music.
that stuff, right?
Yeah, you'd actually have to play some music or do some other shit like that.
Even then, like there's some certain like even if you play a part and you mention but we're not getting into that stuff right now. Yeah, like I is there anything you guys? Oh yeah, like So let me think. Kenneth was walking inside of the cops, and the cops are just getting inside because Nessa sent them here. So you see the cops like look around, taking pictures. You see two of the cops standing near the girl. The person who passed out was still there on the ground.
Okay, that's good. I'd actually call one of them over.
Yeah, it's good that guy stays unconscious. Screw that guy. He doesn't deserve to wake up. He kicked a puppy. By accident, but he kicked the puppy.
The fuck are you talking about, shit?
You said good for that guy that remained unconscious.
Yeah.
Chip, calm down. Anyway,
Sven's
I was saying good as in good. They're looking after the person. Chip.
Okay. I had the same reaction except for the puppy thing.
That's the first thing that popped in my head.
Okay.
Chip, I'm not even gonna question it. Anyway, I'm gonna, like I said, try and call one of them over.
Yeah. So like one who was taking the pictures, like, Miss, how can I help you, Mr. Peterson?
We got some stuff on the cameras. I actually just checked them, and I got the blurry image.
He's like,
Couple of them, actually.
I'll make sure we'll get them. Anything else I can help you with?
They're frame by frame, so I think it might have been a speedster that actually was doing it. You need to look at where the bat section where the bats are being taken. Go frame by frame and go for the windows and the door. There was someone at the door that you see for a frame.
Yeah. So
I'm just sitting there describing to them like
he puts on
what
like
I
his
found.
communication device, and at that point, like somebody also like went to the back room where Pyre and the guy was, and like on the walk-talk, it's like, yeah, we have a probable speedster on the cameras. Can somebody get camera feedings and look for any like databases on speedsters? And like the guy like who was trying to get the chips, he's like, of course, I'm a speedster. And he just starts running like very slowly. He stumbles over some garbage. Shit!
I
And, like the cop goes like, oh shit! Like he goes over like, he would say, "Girl, is he the speedster?" And he's like,
No.
"Yeah, it's me."
What? No, it's not.
And the cop looks confused like at the guy, and he trusts you in this. And he's like, "Okay, you keep an eye on him, right? Should I call someone?" He doesn't seem to be. Like he stands up and he fell on his nose, and there's like blood coming from his nose. It's like no,
Maybe.
No, actually, I mean, I'm not there. I can't say anything.
No. What were you gonna say?
I'm not saying nothing. I'm not there, damn it.
Alright. Just gonna say, just have him be watched. He's clearly not okay. Just in the head,
Yeah.
and maybe get him to the hospital as well. Maybe the sound hurt him as well. Not the sound. The gas thing got to him as well, but it affected him in his head.
Yeah. So the cop was like, I'll make sure I'll get him to the station, make sure he's safe, and we'll call his parents. And he like walks over to the boy and he's like, "Come here, son. No, we'll make sure you get home safely today." He's like, "You're arresting me? I know it. I'm the super villain. Shit, I'm getting arrested. I'm not doing a great job." He's like focusing all his powers on the cop, and the cop just dragging him out. Yeah, like this, like first, Kenneth will see this, like, the cop is, like, gently leading him along, like, arm around his shoulder, and this guy is, like, he was with Pyre and is, like, bleed on his nose, and he's just making weird sounds against the cop and, like, moving his hands.
Copyright
Again, the girl-
infringement, ho!
The girl who was helping man, and she looks at him and she's just shaking her head, like, yeah, so yeah, again, like, Nessa sees this like a short while afterwards because she was at the cops, and she sees this guy as well. Like when they put him in the back of the police car, and he's like, you know, going a bit crazy in there, trying to like pass through the wall or trying to run out of it.
He's gonna hurt himself so much.
Yep. So yeah, I think that's all the data you guys needed for now. So that's where we're gonna stop. Like, next session you guys are gonna reconvene. Probably so you will get some of the face recognition data, some data on the pawn shops if they found anything. We already did for like any other camera feed stuff. Maybe you will get some knowledge for speedsters, for probable speedsters. And you will probably send some to the hospital to check on the worst cases to see if they saw anything. We'll leave that for next time.
Just in case they were directly contacted by the speedster.
Yeah, or door a person, or door the group of persons, or did they see anything, or if there were like different things they felt or saw. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's a basic thing, like detectives probably do, is like check up with the people who went to the hospital.
Yep.
So that's where we're gonna leave it for now, and we're gonna stop the recording there. Let me see, PowerPoints. Yeah, each day.
Get like maybe one, maybe
Yeah,
two.
one.
Okay,
I'm
because I'm
not
gonna
gonna-
say we didn't really do that much.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not doing after credit scenes since it's basically been like 4 hours ago since you guys did your last after. Like, it's not a long enough time has passed for you guys to do after credit scenes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Okay.